think while we're... Yes, Mr. Chu, you can come up, but we do have one vote-only item. Why don't we dispense with that right now? This is AB 311 by Gallagher. We took testimony and debate at our last meeting, and so it's just a question of whether anyone wishes to make a motion. There's a motion by Dolly, a second by Harper. The chair's recommendation is no. This is we held this 2 weeks ago, hearing on it by Gallagher, Water Supply Infrastructure Improvement Act of 2014.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
Sure.
I understand from the author that the author of the bill has proposed amendments to identify the specific projects to which the provisions of AB 311 would apply. The King's Arena.
It depends on what you mean by specific projects. Right now, it would apply to all surface water storage projects. If there are amendments, he has not brought them to us. It could be two separate projects, and I also do not have a list of mitigation measures that they would take. So again, if people want to do bills that's like the Sacramento Kings bill, what they would want to do is identify a specific project, go to the supporters in opposition, have them meet together, come up with the mitigation measures. This has not been done in either case. That is the reason for our no recommendation.
No, I understand that hasn't been done, but if we have identified the projects, we have an opportunity, as this bill may or may not progress, to negotiate mitigation measures.
I would suggest to authors that wish to do this to do that from the onset, not to do that after the fact. And so this committee will treat it as if it does not have any mitigation measures because there is none enunciated in the bill. So it's a no recommendation. Is there a motion?
I did. Yes.
Oh, motion by Dolly. Was it a second by Harper? Please call the roll.
Assemblymember Williams?
No.
Williams, no. Dally?
Aye.
Dally, aye. Garcia?
No.
Garcia, no. Hadley?
Aye.
Hadley, aye. Harper?
Aye.
Harper, aye. McCarty?
No.
McCarty, no. Rendon? Stone?
No.
Stone, no. Wood? It's got 3 aye votes.
It's got 3 aye votes. Mr. Chu, thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Probably going on all these Titanic battles, and I just wanted a little district bill.
All right.
Please proceed.
All right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Chair and the members. Today I'm here to present a district bill, which passed the local government committee unanimously last week. As amended in the local government committee, AB 385 will create the Newbie Island Landfill Community Advisory Committee to give voices to 100,000 plus residents live in the North San Jose, Milpitas, and south of Fremont area. I applaud the effort of the Bay Area Quality Management District, BAAQMD, for convening a South Bay older stakeholders group. But I felt that their group include many of the zero waste energy development, base restoration project, and it's not really focusing on this older issue in the local, very restricted area. So I would like to realize that make sure that we understand there is a real need for the landfill, but there's a real very bad older problem that we need to address. And with me today are Milpitas City Manager Thomas Williams and Public Work Director Steve Machida, who can assist in providing a local perspective on this issue. So,
Get 2 minutes each.
Thank you and good afternoon. Honorable Chair Williams and committee members, again, my name is Tom Williams, City Manager for the City of Milpitas. We would like to thank the Honorable Assembly Member Chu for authoring AB 385. This is much needed legislation to bring the larger community together so we can work together to remediate odor and nuisance issues on our local businesses, our residents and visitors to the City of Milpitas. We are asking for your support in this bill with the proposed amendments and would be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Mr. Chair, committee members, Stephen Machida, Director of Public Works. First of all, I just wanted to mention that, as one of the first tasks of my job, actually I had to deal with many of the odors, and it has been quite challenging actually to get all the parties together to actually exchange meaningful information. And I see this bill as kind of the first step or a tool in the toolbox to actually bring all parties together and to work in a really collaborative manner. And therefore, I fully support the bill as proposed to be amended. Thank you.
Mr. Dolly moves. Mr. Stone seconds. Other witnesses in support?
Mr. Chair, Justin Malone, on behalf of the local environmental health directors, I really want to thank the author for taking these amendments. We do agree this is a local issue, and we appreciate the help from both committee consultants in drafting this language. Just to reiterate, there's an extensive process in place to address odors and any other solid waste facilities. So we didn't want to burden every single solid waste facility in the state of California with this obligation. So with that said, we strongly support the bill. Thank you.
You were almost ready to get cut off.
I did it.
Anybody else wishing to speak in support? Witnesses in opposition? Seeing none, we will bring it back to the panel. Any questions from members? Would you like to close, sir?
thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Yeah, AB 385 puts the force of the law behind a more focused stakeholders group to ensure continued collaboration between all of those concerned with the odor issue and related to Newbie Island. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
The motion was due pass to
As amended to approve.
as amended to approach. Please take the roll.
Assemblymember Williams. Dolly.
Aye.
Dolly, aye. Garcia. Hadley. I'm sorry. Garcia, aye. Garcia, aye. Hadley.
Aye.
Hadley, aye. Harper.
Aye.
Harper, aye. McCarty.
Aye.
McCarty, aye. Rendon. Stone.
Aye.
Stone, aye. Wood. It's got 6 aye votes.
Bill's out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll just take control. You may come up, Ms. Eggman.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Chair and members. First, I'd like to say that I accept the proposed amendments and thank you for working with my office on that. Today, I'm presenting AB 1419 regarding recycling centers. Anybody who's ever worked in local government knows that this can be an issue. Currently, a certified operator of a recycling center is required to notify CalRecycle 10 days prior to closing down their center. However, there is no penalty associated with failure to notify the department, and as a result, many operators just kind of abandon their recycling business without telling anybody. They go away. This results in incorrect information being given to our constituents about where they can take their recycling, as well as centers that are open, which discourages them from recycling, as well as people not receiving their deserved handling fee revenue for being the sole recycler in a convenience area. This bill would solve that issue by creating a rebuttal presumption that a recycling center is not operating if, 1, no material has been reported by the site to CalRecycle for 30 days, and 2, the center fails to be open for business during posted hours on 2 consecutive CalRecycle inspections. And I have witnesses today in support.
Hi, Gareth Elliott here on behalf of the Allen Company, which is one of the state's largest privately owned and operated recyclers. We'd like to thank the Assemblywoman for bringing this bill forward. We think it'll make the administration of the bottle recycling program much more efficient, and we want to continue to work with her on that.
Thank you, Catherine Brandenburg, representing the Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries. We echo everything Mr. Elliott said and support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Other witnesses in support? Witnesses in opposition? Seeing none. Questions by members? Seeing none, we have a motion to do pass to, as amended, to approach. Please call the roll.
Assemblymember Williams? Dolly?
Aye.
Dolly, aye. Garcia? Aye. Garcia, aye. Hadley?
Aye.
Hadley, aye. Harper?
Aye.
Harper, aye. McCarty? Rendon? Stone?
Aye.
Stone, aye. Wood? It's got 5.
We'll leave the roll open.
Thank you.
You're well on your way.
I feel a wind coming on.
Okay. Oh, yes, ma'am. What number is that? Where's Garcia's? She just have one.
Okay.
13. Item 13. AB 779.
Yes. Chairman, members, this bill addresses a problem that was actually born out of our efforts intended to help infill development flourish. In recent years, infill development has been lauded as the most environmentally desirable type of development in the state. Located within half a mile of a major transit spot, infill is associated with fewer cars on the road and less miles traveled. It is also one of the best mechanisms for breathing economic life into our inner cities. Pursuant to SB 743 Steinberg, the Office of Planning and Research has been drafting guidelines aimed at replacing a congestion-based metric with the vehicle miles traveled metric for measuring traffic impacts under CEQA. In theory, this change to law should have been helpful to infill developments, as infill projects are typically located in areas of greater traffic congestion. To be clear, this isn't about getting rid of VMT. VMT is great for infills. However, the guidelines can't achieve the intended purpose of creating a more fitting metric for infill because the congestion analysis is still required as part of a local planning. Should the guidelines become effective, infill projects would go through not one, but 2 analyses under CEQA, ultimately increasing costs of the project and making them less likely to materialize. Infill projects, while desirable, are already some of the most expensive development projects. And for economically disadvantaged communities in particular, this duplicative analysis creates a disincentive for these type of projects. This bill would press the pause button on recent proposed guidelines in order to allow time for a more helpful solution to be crafted. I have here with me Aaron Nimala, representing the California Infill Federation, to help answer any questions members may have.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Aaron Nimala, representing the Infill Builder Federation. We were the sponsors of 743, which actually authorized the guidelines that this bill addresses. Just to reiterate what the Assembly member said, the Infill Builders do not oppose a conversation around VMT. We found ourselves in an unfortunate situation as this guidelines process progressed, and that was it became very clear that infill would continue to go through the prior metric, the congestion-based metric, LOS, in the planning process, and then in addition would be the first set of projects to have to go through a separate VMT analysis under CEQA. So ironically, the projects that were stipulated to be the lowest GHG projects with the lowest vehicle miles traveled were saddled with 2 separate and some would say contradictory analyses. And so what this bill does is create a placeholder for a conversation about how to address those unintended consequences. And for that reason, we're very appreciative of the authoring the bill. Thank you.
Second. I'll second it.
Thank you.
Witnesses in support? Okay. Witnesses in opposition?
Hello, committee members. Amanda Eakin with the Natural Resources Defense Council. We apologize for the lateness of our letter in opposition submitted Friday, but we feel that the policy that this bill would delay is so critical that we needed to go on the record in opposition. There is an existing process at the Office of Planning and Research, the Governor's Office of Planning and Research, to handle these guidelines. They are coming out with a new draft in June. There's another 45-day comment period. This will then go to the Natural Resources Agency. There will be another 45-day comment period. There's ample opportunity through the existing process to provide comment on what OPR is doing. We don't feel at this point it's appropriate to preempt that process by delaying this bill. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition?
My name is Mia Kong, and I'm with the Council of Infill Builders, slightly different group. Actually started at the same time. I actually started both groups. But we actually are opposed to this, also for the same reasons that NRDC talked about. This is a sea change in terms of VMT. We're looking at now analyzing traffic patterns and VMTs differently. A process has been started at OPR. It's been well dialogued. There's been lots of iterations of comments. And to decide to stop now before we finish the process, I think is a little short-sighted. And there are a number of developers like myself, I am an infill developer, that are already utilizing VMT in our analysis, and it could roll that back. So I urge this body to move forward with the recommendations that were laid out in the original bill, SB 743. The Council of Infill Builders also supported that. And we urge the state to move in the direction of GHG reduction, getting rid of LOS. If we press the pause button, it's the same old business that has caused the quagmire that we're in today. We are moving the needle. It takes a little bit of time, but we need to stay with the process. We recommend an opposition position. Thank you.
Any other in opposition? Seeing none, we will bring it back. Questions by members? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. And would you like to close?
I just wanted to note why the chair's recommendation is aye. I am not a fan of LOS. I think it's an insufficient measure. We do need to transition. However, we should not make two duplicative requirements. And that just, the whole idea is to reward infill projects, not punish them. And so this is why this bill is needed at this time. We do want to move towards a better measurement, and I think that's a step for the future. In the meantime, we should not punish them for having to do twice as much work. Chair's recommendation is aye. Would you like to close?
I will accept your comments as my closing statement. Thank you.
Please call the roll.
Assemblymember Williams?
Aye.
Williams, aye. Dowley?
Aye.
Dowley, aye. Garcia?
Aye.
Garcia, aye. Hadley?
Aye.
Hadley, aye. Harper?
Aye.
Harper, aye. McCarty? Rendon? Stone? Aye. Stone, aye. Wood? Wood, aye.
Look into that thing.
7 votes. 7 votes. Your bill is out. We have Mr. Lowe, and on deck is Ms. Eggman. Oh, we didn't. No. So we have Mr. Lowe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair and members, for allowing me to present AB 1108. First of all, let me thank both Republican and Democratic committee staff for your assistance in working on the language, and I accept the suggested amendments in the analysis. This bill reduces the daily limits of aluminum, plastic, and glass beverage containers to combat fraud. As noted in the committee analysis, the Bottle Bill program is a victim of its own success, and to the extent that obviously we focused on ways to be self-sustaining, but in recent years the beverage program has not generated enough revenue to be sustainable. One of the contributing factors of the deficit has been the importation of out-of-state beverage containers. And according to CalRecycle, lowering the limits is a significant way to reduce fraud in the program. AB 1108 helps address the fraud in this well-intentioned program by limiting how much a certified recycling center can accept from a consumer in a 24-hour reporting period. With that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Move the bill. Second. Motion by Dolly, second by Hadley. Your witness.
Yes, Mr. Chair and members, Kelly Jensen representing Recology and also Anheuser-Busch in support of the bill. Both of my clients are participants in the CRV program, and they both suffer from fraud on different ends. On Recology's side, ratepayers have to absorb the cost of people stealing material out of curbside. And Recology sees that, and Anheuser-Busch sees that in higher processing fees. So this is a simple step to make sure that people are not bringing back massive amounts. I think the bill even permits 350 aluminum cans to be brought back, which is quite a bit for an individual to be consuming on a daily basis, even though we like beer. But thank you, and we support the bill.
Other witnesses to support? Witnesses in opposition? To the committee. We have a motion and a second. Chair's recommendation is aye. Would you like to close?
Thank you very much. We respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Please call the roll.
Assemblymember Williams?
Aye.
Williams, aye. Dally?
Aye.
Dally, aye. Garcia? Hadley?
Aye.
Hadley, aye. Harper? Harper, aye. McCarty? Rendon? Stone? Stone, aye. Wood? Wood, aye. It's got 6 votes.
6 votes. Your bill is out. Mr. Perea? You have 2 bills. You could take up whichever one you wish first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, I'll begin with AB 21. Let me begin by stating that I am accepting the committee's suggested amendments and just want to take a moment to thank the staff and the chair for their work on this issue. AB 21 is a measure that would direct the California Air Resources Board when developing its scoping plan to include matters related to energy efficiency and electrification of the transportation sector in addition to what is already required under current law. In addition, this bill would state the intent of the legislature that the ARB design emission reduction measures to clean the environment in ways that are cost-effective for California residents. In order to meet existing statewide goals such as doubling the efficiencies in existing buildings and deploying 1.5 million electric vehicles on California roads by 2025, these additional elements to the scoping plan need to be included and thoroughly assessed to ensure we understand the remaining challenges to meet these goals. The advanced deployment of EVs and significant increases in building efficiency requires a coordinated approach between state agencies and the legislature, and the scoping plan has proven to be a useful tool to guide sound policy decisions. AB 21 will ensure we continue our leadership on climate change and keep us on the path to successfully achieving long-term goals. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Witnesses in support? Witnesses in opposition?
Thank you. Kyle Jones of Sierra Club, California, in opposition.
Apologies, I'm actually in support. Sylvia Solisha on behalf of the Pacific Merchant Shipping Association. Thank you.
Other witnesses in support or opposition? Shaw.
Michael Shaw, the California Manufacturers and Technology Association, in support.
Amy Magro on behalf of the California Chamber of Commerce in support.
Any other witnesses in support or opposition? To the committee. Well, I appreciate you working on this issue, and just to keep the committee apprised of any further amendments, because we would want to know about them.
Will do.
With that, the chair's recommendation is aye. There's no motion, though. Is there a motion? Motion by Garcia, second by Wood. Please call the roll.
Assemblymember Williams?
Aye.
Williams, aye. Dally?
Not voting.
Garcia? Aye. Garcia, aye. Hadley? Aye. Hadley, aye. Harper?
Not voting.
McCarty? Aye. McCarty, aye. Rendon? Stone? Aye. Stone, aye. Wood? Wood, aye. It's got 6.
With 6 votes, your bill is out. Yes. He has one more. Please proceed.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I'd now like to present AB 857. Let me begin before I go into my notes here. Just thank the chair and the committee staff for working with us on this measure. Mr. Chair, I think you and I had several exchanges this weekend, and I appreciate you taking the time over the weekend to help us work this out. So let me begin by saying that I accept the committee amendment that requires the transportation fuel provider to document and supply at least 10% renewable fuel. The amendment further authorizes ARB to raise the renewable fuel percentage requirement provided ARB works in concurrence with the California Energy Commission to show there is sufficient renewable fuel available to meet the increased percentage requirement. AB 857 would help California lower greenhouse gas emissions and reduce air pollution by providing incentives for industries to purchase future heavy-duty trucks that run on cleaner engines. Last year, the legislature passed SB 1204 to develop zero and near-zero emission truck, bus, and off-road vehicles. SB 1204 will help spur new technologies to meet clean air and climate change goals, but more needs to be done for these technologies to be deployed on our roadways, since the cost of these technologies will likely be higher than conventional equipment. AB 857 would help bridge this gap, making technologies more attractive and affordable for industries to adopt and deploy past 2017. Specifically, this bill would allocate no less than 50% of program dollars, or $100 million, during the period between 2018 and 2023 towards supporting the commercial deployment of zero and near zero emission heavy-duty truck technologies that meet or exceed a specific emission standard. By incentivizing the deployment of clean trucks over 26,000 pounds, we will be cleaning up some of the state's biggest contributors to air pollution and greenhouse gases. For these reasons, I respectfully ask for your aye vote, and I have with me here today to support the bill Roger Schwecke from the Southern California Gas Company.
Please proceed. You get two witnesses, 2 minutes. If there's 3 of you, you got to split up 4 minutes.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair and Committee, for the work that you guys have put forth on this bill. I'm Roger Schwecke, Vice President of Customer Solutions of the California Gas Company. We're here in strong support of the bill. We believe this bill will help reduce greenhouse gas, along with significantly reduce the NOx emissions. And NOx emissions are really critical in those areas in Southern California that are facing a daunting task of emission reductions in the South Coast Air Quality Management District and the San Joaquin Valley Area District. This bill will help move along technology that can reduce NOx emissions by 90%. So we believe that you look at what this bill can do for the trucking industry. You could take a heavy-duty truck, you take it off the road. It's like taking 80 cars off the road for NOx emissions and 5 cars off the road for greenhouse gas emissions. So with that, I urge an aye vote by the committee, and we believe it's a good bill for the communities in Southern California, especially along those that are along the transportation corridors.
Chairman Williams, members of the committee, my name is Matt Reed, and I'm here on behalf of Breathe California of Los Angeles County. Breathe LA has fought for healthy lungs for over 100 years and has for the last 40 taken an active role in advocating for policies that reduce the impact of transportation emissions on asthma, lung cancer, COPD, and other lung diseases. California has long led the nation in the development of strict regulations to improve air quality. However, even with our history of progressive air quality regulations, parts of California still suffer from some of the worst air quality in the nation. In particular, individuals living in the South Coast and in the Central and San Joaquin Valleys continue to breathe dirty air filled with diesel exhaust and particulate matter. Poor air quality creates a cost for everyone, but as Breathe LA has seen firsthand, its effects disproportionately impact the communities that live along transportation corridors frequented by heavy-duty trucks. Perhaps not surprisingly, heavy-duty truck traffic concentrates near ports and around our state's agricultural areas. By way of example, studies have found that doctor-diagnosed asthma is more prevalent among children living within 125 feet of a freeway. Another study found that children living and attending school closer to freeways had more chronic respiratory symptoms and doctor-diagnosed asthma than those who did not. Breathe Los Angeles supports the California Clean Truck Act because it recognizes the impact that diesel has not just on greenhouse gas emissions, but the very real toll diesel emissions have on community health. Breathe LA commends Assemblymember Perea and his office for their leadership on this issue and is proud to ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, RJ Cervantes with the California Trucking Association here today in support of AB 857. We believe that this bill will provide needed incentive opportunities for our member companies. In the past few years, we've already invested $10 billion on the newest and cleanest available technology, and we expect to invest an additional $1 billion each year up until 2023. And we do believe that this bill will help get us to where we need to go. We have identified just a couple of things that need to be ironed out with some of the committee amendments that you're taking up today, but we're confident that we'll be able to do that as we move this bill forward.
Other witnesses in support?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Michael Corbett on behalf of the Kings County Board of Supervisors in very strong support of this bill.
Hi, Alex Gibbs, Townsend Public Affairs. On behalf of the cities of Tulare and Buena Park, we are in support of this bill.
Julia Levin, Bioenergy Association of California, and we're in support of this bill.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Tim Carmichael with the California Natural Gas Vehicle Coalition in strong support. Thank you.
Sylvia Solis Shaw with Shaw Yoder Antwi on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Kern County and on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Tulare County in strong support. Thank you.
Ryan Kenny on behalf of Clean Energy and our subsidiary Clean Energy Renewable Fuels in strong support.
James Provenzano of Clean Air Now, one of the oldest nonprofit organizations protecting the public's health from air pollution. We're in support of the bill.
I'm Kirby Van Amberg with Care Community Clinic in Los Angeles in strong support.
Dr. Gabriel Buelna, Executive Director of Plaza Community Services, East Los Angeles and Boyle Heights, in favor of this bill.
Teresa Marquez from Mothers of East LA and Boyle Heights. We have 850,000 vehicles coming through our Boyle Heights. 5 freeways come through Boyle Heights. And when you look across the freeways, you could see the trucks bumper to bumper, walls of trucks. Please, we are in totally favor of this bill. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Terry Griffin. I'm Mothers of East LA Secretary, and we're an environmental justice organization, and we strongly support AB 857. Thank you.
Witnesses in opposition? Provide a couple seats over here.
Hello. Mr. Chair and members, Bonnie Holmes-Jen with the American Lung Association in California. And we certainly support the intent of the author to achieve air quality benefits in local communities and are working very hard toward those goals. But the effect of this bill would be to apply some new funding restrictions from 2018 to 2023 that would hamper progress in some important clean fuel technologies. So 3 quick points. By setting aside 50% of the funding or $100 million for a limited range of clean truck projects, the bill would have the impact of diverting funding from zero-emission vehicle technologies, hybrid electric trucks or other zero-emission vehicles, battery electric, hybrid electric fuel cell that can dramatically reduce greenhouse gas emissions. 2, there are some other pots of funding that can provide assistance to natural gas projects. The CEC program has provided $70 million in funding for natural gas vehicles over the years of the AB 118 program, and the current investment plan is proposing $10 million for natural gas vehicles. And so the set-aside proposed here seems pretty high given the existing funding. And third, we are currently achieving a much higher level of renewable natural gas fuel in California for transportation under the LCFS. So we think that renewable fuel percentage is very, very low. And the more we can increase that renewable fuel percentage, the more greenhouse gas benefits we're getting for California. And that is certainly the focus of the GGRF funds. So it just, in bottom line is that we believe that the GGRF funding should be used to fund a range of zero and near zero emission technologies that achieve both air quality and GHG benefits. So opposed unless amended.
Good afternoon. Victoria Rome with Natural Resources Defense Council, also in opposition, but very much appreciate the engagement of the author and his staff in working with us and trying to reach agreement, but we are concerned about some of the impacts of, limitations the spill would put on the GGRF funding going forward. So unfortunately, we just weren't able to reach agreement in time, but hope to continue working with the author. Thank you.